In the end, it took less than 30 years for the world as we know it to fall. 95% of the population died. There were a litany of causes, not that it mattered in the end. Our infrastructure failed. With no electricity, our communications, lights, and internet failed too. There weren't even enough survivors left to tend the fields and care for the remaining livestock. As if any of us had any of the necessary skills. Those few of us who remained barricaded ourselves into makeshift fortresses, although we had no idea what we thought we were hiding from. To paraphrase that ass T.S. Eliot, not with a bang, but with a whimper, the world ended. Almost. In the late 2050s, the builders ended the crisis by combining biology, precision mechanics, and thermohydraulics to make constructs from the dead, human and otherwise. These automatons took up all the necessary repetitive tasks that keep us alive. The constructs follow algorithms and programmable, mindless cycles. The dead of all species have taken the place of slaves, and like those slaves, they have become the basis on which our recovery and our economy grow. They are everywhere. As humans, we have lost almost everything. But we do have what humanity has always had. We have hope. Oh, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these wonderful people have come and agreed to join to play a game with me tonight. I got that off befuddled, but you know what I mean. And anyway, it made me very happy. So, let's talk to the people. Let's start with Wayward Knight.
Ah, crap, I was hoping you wouldn't go with
I know, I could see it in your eyes.
I'm trying to find my links.
Of course you are. Go.
I'm Wayward Knight, aka Chris, and I am frantically pulling up my links here. I am a Detroit area artist and actor, and support your small and local artist friends. I have too many tabs up right now. You can find me at all of the places that are on my link tree here. I also hang out almost constantly on our Discord, and I am the DM for our Monday night game, Grave New Worlds, which is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG.
Yes, it is. It is great and wondrous fun. And they're beating up your NPC with vicious abandon. Vicious abandon. It's so funny.
Kicking the shit out of him. I feel so bad for him.
Oh, for him, yes. Yeah, he's going to learn. It's going to be amazing.
But you don't feel bad for me?
No, because
you're enjoying it. I can tell.
You get to make them pay for every single one of those sentences. So yeah, I do not feel sorry for you. You are in a place of great power, considering what they've already done in this story and this. Yeah, oh yeah, they got a whooping coming. Anyway, let's move on. Bison _ Stonefist.
That's
in
me.
the middle of your beer. See, that's two for two now. 2 for 2 unprepared.
All right, so yeah, that's me.
Look at the Phil actually sat up in his chair like, you're not catching me, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm Bison. I am a longtime member of this community. I am glad to be here. I love this fucking place. In general, you can find me on Wednesday nights as Linus Longshadow in our D&D 5e game, Sudden Heroes, which is taking place during the Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Yeah, that's the one. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying. We're level 3 now. We just finished a big fight. Good times. In other news, on Tuesday I will be running a Cyberpunk Red game. This will be my first campaign. I've got my chooms. I've got my fucking maps. I think I have a plot. And yeah, that's me in the near future, very near future.
Yep.
So stay tuned. Tuesday nights.
Absolutely. To be seen soon.
Do I have my brown
yes.
Yeah, and then there's my own channel.
Yes.
Yes. I stream there when I'm not streaming here, which isn't often. Last Sunday we played SnowRunner and got stuck in the mud.
Yep.
And I flipped my truck like a motherfucker, just down the mountain. It was hilarious.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
good
okay.
times.
I got frustrated going so slow and made my excuses and left. So yeah,
That's why you left, you big jerk.
I hate that game. I never remember. Every time it's like, I love this game. It's a driving game. How come I'm going 8 kilometers an hour for an hour? Oh, everybody needs to die.
I can walk faster than this.
Yes, yeah. I've been stuck 3 times and I am not out of the parking lot yet. I don't like this game. But I like the people I was playing with, so it was fun. I stuck around for 2 hours. That's like, to be fair, that's like twice as long as I normally play any game, even the ones I like. So, you must be good company because the game pisses me off. Next, let's go to let's go to Thunderscape 7.
Hi. I lose my words every single time. I'm Thunderscape 7, also Robin. I mostly hear either on the channel or in the chat or in the Discord. And sometimes I do art, sometimes I post it places, most of the time I don't. That's-
Well,
Hey.
post the links to the places that you sometimes post. There we go. Thank you. And let's move around finally to Phil. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Kevin kind of just kidnapped me off the street, told me to play in this game.
Yes.
He's got my family hostage, so
Yep.
no choice.
In the basement. Yep.
Yeah,
And I live in
but
the
I-
basement, so for them it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Love
Kevin
the
makes me play other games, other weeks, even when he's not even in them. So
Slave driver.
yeah.
Yeah, vicious bastard I am.
But no, I'm merely offline. Like in terms of my presence, I'm sure you could find me somewhere. Please don't.
We'll hunt you down.
But yeah, that's me. I'm Phil, or sometimes you'll see me in chat as Snowman.
Yes. Okay, and that just leaves me. Technically, this channel is now streaming 6 nights a week, very soon to be 7 again. But tabletop role-playing games what they are, and scheduling being what it is, if you tune in on any night of the week and we're not here, it was because of scheduling. So, tune in the next night, chances are. We managed 23 days out of February, so that's not bad. 23 out of
Oh,
28
wow.
we actually sent out a stream, so very, very cool. Yes, there were no hostages taken during the building of this or any other stream.
That's not
So,
confident. No Phils were harmed during the making
no
of the
fills
stream.
No, yeah, no fills were. I'm okay.
I think we're okay. One of my favorite streamers always talks about keeping his writers chained up in the basement, so I think we're good. And he lives on the 3rd floor, so it's really weird. But anyway, let's do this. Roll 20 for our maps, which I don't think you'll be seeing tonight. The character art was done using Hero Forge. The imagery is from Pixabay, modified by the mighty and wondrous Thunderscape 7. And
also the source book.
oh yes, the source book for Necrobiotic. Yes, thank you. We're using Necrobiotic as our game system. I don't actually have a link to the game, but I
Such a
should.
good system. You should buy it.
It is. It's really cool, and I paid for this one, so you can trust my opinion. So, with that, let's start with, of course, because we got to get you caught up. Delilah,
It's me.
we left you in your office, right?
No.
Or
you
no,
left
at
me
home. Right.
At Artemis's.
At
Artemis's
Artemis.
place. Yes, going to sleep, right? Or going upstairs to your room.
No.
No? Okay, I remember nothing.
You
Tell me-
Outside
had-
with Verite.
let me-
I was
Let me start
outside with
again.
Verite,
me
and then
ask
you had
again.
me just
Delilah.
like take the fuck off.
Yeah, right. Okay, Rez. Now I remember. Now that you've told me, I didn't remember. You just told me. So yeah, you leave there. What do you do? Where do you go? It's late evening.
I mean, she probably would have gone home.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, because she came to Artemis's to talk about something, but then there were problems that were like way more important.
Yep.
It was mainly to drop off the acid.
Yep.
Yeah, I dropped off the acid, and then Verite got all existential. So I comforted Verite, and
Yes.
then um and then Artemis and Coas had another conversation, I think.
Yep, which is enough to drive
And
anybody to leave.
and something about whatever, and then she just left.
Right.
Um,
Yes. Due to
um,
sudden
I believe in
unavailability.
your words it was she buggered off.
Yes, yeah, that sounds like me. So, yeah, that sounds a lot like me, actually. So, with that, you walking through the night streets heading home. All of that just wound up in your head. You're the head of department. Verite's nuts, but in a really interesting way. Um, what's that walk home like? It's dark. Nobody's up. This is Florence at night, right? This is.
Yeah, it's just the lamp lighting
Yeah.
constructs and stuff.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, this isn't like the first time she's walked home alone in the dark,
Yeah.
especially not in the last week.
First time with the fancy new apron, though.
Yeah. And so she, like, as pressing as the situations that Artemis and Coas had, like,
Yeah.
she still didn't get a chance to talk about her own situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still on her mind, and she is just really torn up in a way. She's questioning a lot, but at the same time she's kind of like, she's not stupid. And her mind goes to perhaps she could turn things around, because she still has power. And if she keeps going, knowing what she knows,
Mm-hmm.
if she still keeps going, maybe she could get to a point where she could affect beneficial change. So basically, like, she's like, maybe I should play the game, basically.
Yep. And if it helps, you look down. If you remember, you got a pocket full of Verite tubes and wires, to use the Thomas Dolby reference. Yeah, because Oh, I just realized. Yeah, he blinded you with science. Okay.
Science.
Yeah. So you get to your house. What's the street look like? I want to paint me a picture.
So, Delilah lives in the very, like, upscale,
Okay.
abandoned section, like, on the riverfront, looking out across the river.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just over the wall, so, like, she can't see the ground, like the river bank, but she can see the water.
Mm-hmm.
And the streets are dimly lit by the lamp light, but they're well kept in a way. They're maybe more swept by the constructs than other sections of the city.
Yep. Absolutely. More constructs per square kilometer for sure.
But because of, I think, the demographic of where she lives, they are more they have more of a tendency to get inside before it becomes quote unquote unsafe.
Yeah.
So it could, if anyone were to notice that she's been coming home late a lot, that could, strike up some
Rumors.
sort of,
Yes.
rumors and stuff. But also she has social standing, so they
can't say anything.
Not a lot of them can say anything.
Absolutely. So as you look down that dark street, and it's all just sort of little blobs of that comfortable orange light, you can see the I'm going to put this on the front of your house, like a stoop, like just like a porch without a roof, right? It's just a flat area with some fancy stairs with wood, because this is Florence, so it's beautiful.
It's like a sculpted marble kind of stoop.
Yeah, and sitting on that balustrade that's probably that wide, you just see a human figure, just like that outline. Yeah. But yeah, you just see lit against the light that's further down the street, the silhouette of a sitting human, and they're sitting almost like the thinker on your step.
Can I help you?
They turn, they're still in silhouette, so you can't see them because they're lit from behind. You hear the voice. Yes, I hadn't heard back from any of you.
Is that in Septum?
Yep. Sitting on your steps at 2:00 in the morning, waiting for you to come home.
I'm gonna.
And you
Set
thought the
aside
worst thing
the
that was going to happen tonight was the explosion.
It's not creepy at all, but
everybody knows where everybody lives, right? So,
yeah, it doesn't mean waiting there until 2 a.m. is less creepy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Convenient, actually. I meant to talk to you.
Oh, yes, about what? And he sort of kicks his legs over the side and crosses his feet and starts swinging them back and forth. He's got his hands beside him on the rail, leaning forward like he's really, really interested.
Like a fucking teenager.
Yep.
I know what I'd like. In return.
Yes?
I mentioned some paperwork. It may be more complicated than that. But I want to know about my parents. Or at least... No, not at least. I want to know why I'm here.
Is that an existential crisis or a legitimate question?
No.
I mean, like,
no,
why
that's a
are we
legitimate
here?
question.
What's our purpose? Oh.
No, like, why did I show up in Florence? Delilah Stillwater's not exactly an Italian name.
Oh, why did you get taken in at the Citadel? Why did you get raised? And yeah. We have a system in place where we look for certain qualities in children. We've gotten extremely good at it, and we don't miss very many. You scored incredibly high. There was no way they weren't going to take you. And by take, I mean take.
Well, you answered my question. Take.
As in kidnapped, yes.
No, okay.
Still sitting there rocking his little feet back and forth, hunched on the side of the stoop.
That's going to take a minute to process, so I'm just going to...
Drink. And he pulls out a little flask. It's beautiful, just ornate, dark silver. It's been handled for 1,000 years. Like, it's got patina and just, yeah.
She looks at it, and it takes, like, several seconds, but then she just goes, oh god, yes. And then takes it in just, like, big swig.
Yep. That was about 3 grams worth of gold. Anyway, yeah, enjoy the rest of that. Any more questions? Or is that enough for tonight?
That is a good start.
113, by the way.
Children?
Yes. You're number 89.
Where are these other children?
The Citadel's a very big place. And if you think back, was there ever a moment you were free to travel? Was there ever a moment there was more than one open door between you and anywhere? You're all at different stages of development as well.
So what? You raise me until I'm a certain age and then you decide you pick another one. And it's just a cycle.
Oh, no, we're adding. There's no replacing.
Well, you know what I meant.
But look at what it's accomplished. You get to do something no one's ever done before. And we get
Oh my god.
And we get to gather the results of your hard work.
Do I know anyone else like that?
I can't answer that, but there's a grin, like you almost certainly do.
I know who it is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to find me my parents. Then maybe I'll consider your offer.
I know exactly where they are. Your mother's in Venice, your father's in Rome.
Addresses.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a card. There's 2 addresses, one on each side.
I mean, she takes it. I hate the fact that you knew what I wanted.
To be fair, that's one of the things I prepared for.
Has anyone ever told you you're despicable?
Oh, I like that one. Oh, I do like that one. I'm not really, but I completely understand why you think I am. I just gave you information for free.
And I just gave you a new adjective. Have fun.
Fair trade, fair trade. So, I'm wondering if you and your little group of friends are still interested in my mission. A little trip out of town. A little exploration.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of information.
Oh.
I suppose you did act in kind. We may have a reason to leave the city.
Oh, do tell.
Stray acquaintance. Perhaps misguided. By himself or by a certain other person. Hard to say. Well, not really, no. It's...
You mean Verite?
No,
Oh.
no. New one. I didn't know about him until today.
Oh.
Child.
I'm going to need more than that.
I'm not putting him in danger. He's already in enough danger.
Well, if whoever this child is the reason you're willing to go outside, then so be it. The offer remains the same. I can equip your party with as much as you need and think you can sneak past the Technophant guards.
All right. I think we should have more words tomorrow.
Agreed. And he jumps down, lands on the ground, straightens his clothes a little bit. And he pauses for a second and says, I would have thought you had 3 reasons. He looks at the card. He looks up at you again, and then just walks past. You said you might have had a reason to leave the city? And he just told you where both your parents are? and the kid, so therefore you might have 3 reasons to leave the city. Walking away just humming a ulterior motive into the darkness.
That's a Chris oversight, not a Delilah
That's okay.
oversight.
That's why I played it back. Yeah.
She
Fucking Littlefinger.
he looks down at the card.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Cois said that Thomas. I mean, I know it's Thomas, but Delilah's like, was it Thomas? Cois said that Thomas went to Venice. Did Cois say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she looks at the Venice address first. And the Rome address. Rome is like very south, isn't it?
Yeah. Rome is about equidistant south as Venice is northeast.
Oy. Okay. Well,
Roughly.
she feels like she's gonna have to go to Venice first.
Yep.
So she'll bring it up in the morning to everyone else.
Okay.
But she's very surprised at how weirdly smooth that interaction went and how strangely calm she is.
Okay. So you go into the house and do your evening ablutions and go to bed?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Another long shower.
Yeah. Rinse it all away. Come out. Nope. All still real. Damn. But you get a strangely good night's sleep. You dream of pleasant things. It's like your brain is just not going to listen for right now. You're tired. You've had a rough couple days. It's going to take some sleep. So bam, down you go.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Wait a
Yeah.
second. Wait
Unless
a
you want to
second.
change that. Yeah.
No. I just thought of a comeback.
Esprit d'escalier.
I said we might have a reason to leave the city. The group,
That's okay. There you go. Yep.
not me.
I'll give you
have
that.
more.
And I'll give you that. And in that case, as he walks away into the darkness, good point.
All right, fast forward.
Yeah, now you're back in your house and you ablute and you go to bed. You wake up the next morning, maybe because of that, getting the line in. Maybe because of that, that's why you sleep so well. You wake up the next morning, and what do?
Regular morning routine, full intentions to go into work today, expecting to talk to Inceptum, see Stefano.
Yep. Open the
that
door.
jazz.
Stefano's sitting on your stoop. Hey.
Why does everyone just sit in front of my house? Sorry. I'm not upset at you.
I don't know you well enough to knock.
Isn't that what strangers do anyway?
I'm not very good at... I came to see you about the tiny wires and the tubes that look like wires.
What's about them?
The ones we've got at the office are not flexible enough, and they're too big and they're too bulky to do what you want to do. He's seen the little stuff, right?
I think
Not yet,
he's
no.
seen
She
He's
just got that
seen-
yesterday.
Right.
the automaton, but he hasn't seen like the individual parts.
Right.
He
Okay.
hasn't seen any of it in motion. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Well,
Yeah.
So, but as long as he's seen that little automaton, that's perfect. Yeah,
Mhm.
we can't do that with what we've got.
Oh no, he had the thing with the drone.
That's gonna happen
Hasn't
shortly.
happened
Oh,
yet.
that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. We're not there yet. So, yeah, he says that.
Okay. She's like, I'm gonna make you late, but then again, I'm the boss. Stefano,
Yeah.
I think that's someone you should meet.
Go. Says the GM. The person
Oh,
who
by the way, and she takes out like one tube and one little ball
Yeah.
joint and like hands them to Stefano, and she's like, you can futz around with those while we walk. Well,
he gets a little bead between his finger and he gets the tube in one end and he starts using his fingers to warm it up. You can just see him slowly bending it and bending it and bending it. His ears are still connected to you, but 99% of his brain is over here doing this thing. Yeah. As you're walking out, it's like somebody who won't come off their cell phone. You kind of almost have to. People see him coming and go around him, kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yeah. This is the stuff. This is the thing. How do you make this?
I don't know, but I know the person who does.
Is that where we're going?
Yes.
Fucking A. And he drops the two pieces in his pocket and just like he starts walking faster, like he's trying to pull you, except of course he doesn't know where you're going, so he's really hurried, in a real hurry.
We're going to a glitter-filled house.
Yes.
Likely place.
Yeah.
So for this, I think the best way is as you get there, you hear voices in the backyard, and you knew Verite was there last night.
Yeah, it was the after the bang.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, right, yeah. The thing hits the wall. So you guys are outside by this point, right? As well.
Oh, wait, no,
right?
they had slept. That's right. They had slept.
Yeah,
and
everybody's had a
now-
night.
That happened at night, and
Yeah.
then
That
Oh,
happened
this
at
is the
night,
next
and
morning
then,
when
yeah.
he's
This
okay.
is the next morning.
So who was in the backyard when Delilah showed up? I think everybody was, right?
I think
it was just
I don't
Carol
think
and
so.
Verite. Everybody sort of charged
Carol,
in.
Verite, and Coas. Artemis was making food and comes out shortly after they
Right.
show
Okay. Perfect. So there we
Sid
go.
was the only one absent.
Yeah. So you come
Drunk
cruising
as
in, and
fuck.
you see the three of them. So Carol, and Verite, and Coas, who you haven't seen in so long. He actually looks older. But
I saw him last night.
No.
Alright,
Okay.
it's just, that's
Okay, in
blah,
that
blah,
case-
blah, blah, blah.
in that case, he just looks older.
Remember Coas, I think, before I speak?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah.
Coas is gonna go blah 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 blah. Laura accurate conversation here. I don't remember the specifics.
Yeah.
So he's gonna say whatever he was saying.
Yep.
And then
And then Artemis, you came out before Stefan blurted, right? Stefano blurted. You were there for that?
No, after.
Okay, perfect.
After.
So,
like right, kind of like in
Right. so,
succession.
so you come in and you see Verite building a thing on a table, but and a bunch of his pieces are next to it, but they're bent and broken. Like you've never seen any of his stuff broken before, and there's something about the way he's moving. It's jerky and it's like he's a little off. He's just a little off. You don't know why, but he's just a little off. And then beside you, Stefano blurts, "Oh, cool, you're building it upside down, so when you turn it over, it'll be stable." And Verite freezes. And he turns his head, like he's trying to turn it upside down, and then realizes that he can actually do this. And when he puts it down, it's a eureka moment, but it's also, there's a absolute terror. I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it. That's the right way, and I didn't see it that way. And Stefano just like ignores the emotional part and just steps up. How in the hell why did you do this? And he starts tracing, but it's connected to, and then starts using words like tensegrity and, it's all, if you broke one piece failed, the whole thing stops. One piece, there's no backup. Hey, wait, there's a backup over, but it's all, and he starts making notes, like he can't keep up. And Verite's listening to him and just staring at him.
Verite?
And this is where Artemis walks out into that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Stefano. Stefano, Verite.
Stefano doesn't, he's gone. He's just right in he's doing physics in his head. It's Verite that says, and it's like he isn't listening to you either, but he says, Stefano can teach people how my stuff works. I can't. And Stefano stops and looks at him. What do you mean you can't? I just see it. I just see it finished. It's just done in my head, and then I put it together. No. You got it. Like I understand the inspiration, but they start this conversation. Stefano cannot. He's trying to explain inspiration to Verite, and Verite like, no, it's not like that. It doesn't come all at once. It's just there. And he's trying to explain what it's like to be a savant, and he's trying to, and they're just not
Savant versus
getting it.
prodigy.
Yeah, they're trying to,
Yeah.
exactly, but they're just not communicating.
Different brands of autism clash.
So the three of you now in the backyard see that.
Artemis sets down plates of, I think they were pancakes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
or
they were
something like that,
pancakes.
hotcakes of some kind.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And it's like, who's that, Delilah?
Oh, I think I mentioned I have my own Verite now. Not quite, but this is Stefano.
Unpaid intern.
Unpaid.
I told you you were going to fix that.
Yes. Do you know you have rights, Stefano?
Unionize.
Just gonna say.
And he utterly ignores you. Just utterly back inside the box. Yeah.
Do you also want breakfast? She looks to Delilah since the other two are
Yeah.
in their own world.
I would love breakfast. Thank you.
And she
But you also gotta go inside for that silverware too. Isn't that what you went inside for?
No, she then was
Because you went
she
to
goes
the
to the
attic.
attic to put things away.
Right.
Because she's still like
And that
trying to
got
clean up
stuck.
after the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yes.
But yeah.
That's right, because you're up in the attic.
'Cause
Koas,
I
you were still
commit
in
to
the
the bit.
backyard, right? Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
You were actually stuck in the attic. That's right. You were trapped.
Yeah,
in
and then
the
I had
attic.
to, like,
Koas
search
went
for
and-
her.
Yeah, Koas went and rescued you before the yeah.
It was after the first earthquake.
Right.
after the
So
birthday.
perfect. So Artemis goes back in the house, and a few moments later, it's massive. It's like a 6. It is just. It's almost all vertical. You can see like the bricks accordioning in the houses before they hit crooked and collapse. Rest in pancakes. Yeah, pancake. Everything's pancaking all over the place. The walls of the city are coming down. The buildings around you are starting to crash into the streets. The gas lamps hit and start to burn on the ground, even though it's daytime.
And that's what I remember Koa specifically saying. Because a lot of the conversation wasn't specific, but I remember
Yeah.
him saying, "Delilah, take Stefano and Verite and whatever her name is,
Carol.
Yeah.
Carol.
Carol." Well,
Carol.
that's me forgetting, but that's also him forgetting.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, that's
sure.
right.
That's convenient.
Carol's like, hey.
Yeah.
take him to the legs of David. That's the most open place here. I've got to look for Artemis.
And
Uh,
boom into the house.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I rush into the house.
Verite is trying to grab the bits and pieces that are left of his project that's on the table. It got shaken to shit because it's not done, so it's not tense yet. It's not, the tensegrity hasn't engaged. It isn't finished. So it's just falling apart. At first he's trying to put it back together, then he realizes, and he just starts pulling it apart into pieces and pulling it into a backpack. No time, gotta go, that's bad.
I'm gonna help him because I know he'll freak out if he doesn't get his stuff.
Yeah,
And then
and you hear around you the city, they're screaming and yelling, and you can see that cloud rising in the distance to the north. That
And
gray,
I'm going
horrible
to-
cloud.
I'm gonna rip Stefano away
Yep.
because he's just in, like, at least Verite is aware that something bad is happening.
Yep. Mhm.
I'm gonna rip Stefano away because
Well,
Stefano
the
probably
earthquake
has
did wake
no-
him up. Even Stefano's
Okay,
aware that something's
okay.
going on. Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I can see Carol. I'm just gonna
Yep.
sweep all of them out of the yard,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna like corral them over to, because Artemis lives like right by the legs of
Yes.
David.
Very close. Yeah.
So I'm going to corral them to the legs.
Perfect. So you get them going in that direction. Some stuff at the house happens as you get to the legs of David. You're technically the first one there now. other people in the city, some
Protesting?
wounded, some. Oh, they were out before, but you didn't see them. They're actually protesting each other now. But never mind. They're all gonna be dead.
No to earthquakes.
They're gonna
No
be
to
yeah, they're all gonna be
earthquakes.
dead in a minute. You get corral them to the legs. So yes, you get them into that region. You see the people, the survivors running around. There's no pattern. They're not running to gates. They're not running to places. They're just running, screaming, yelling, making no sense at all. Buildings are still falling. It's not really aftershocks. They're just not done falling down yet.
She's going to start like trying to like get people. The legs have already fallen over, right?
Yes, yeah, they're
Okay.
One of them is
She's
falling.
gonna
I think.
like
Yeah.
she's gonna start just like pulling people like to be like, hey, open spaces, stay in open spaces.
And that's when the pumice rock and the ash start to fall. Dun, 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 like rain, except like with rocky snow in it.
In that case, where is
It doesn't really hurt. It's just like kind of like being poked.
Yeah.
But the ash is cloying and dangerous. Yeah, like hail, except not quite as
she's
painful.
going
Yeah.
to
Burn
she's gonna
it.
remember she has a gas mask,
Yep.
but she's gonna
And Septum already has. Verite already has one built.
Verite has one.
That's a strange design decision.
Mm.
I'm just gonna fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Verite's actually built one in place while this is happening. Stefano's just looking at it going,
Does-
fuck. That's where that came from. Yeah.
Does Carol
Pulls up her
does
shirt.
Carol have like a bandana or
Oh, yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, everybody's got something over their mouths. So yeah,
Okay,
the
like-
ashfall. They're all kind of blinking because none of them have eye protection, but they
Okay.
can still go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's gonna put on her gas mask.
Yeah.
Um
And then
She's going
you
to
guys
start-
arrived sometime around here, right? Or did you guys meet them? Elsewhere.
Coas and Sid met at the house.
What
yeah.
happened was Artemis and Coas went to the legs with Fatima,
Right,
who met up with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
right.
And then Coas, them not knowing where Sid was said he's faster, so he
Gotcha.
would go look for Sid. He would stay
Right.
there for Sid, while Artemis and Delilah left with everybody else.
Perfect.
Yes.
There we go.
Right.
Thank you. Now we're there. Boom.
Mhm.
There, thank you. I'll
So
quit trying to remember and just ask the person who takes the copious notes.
So I guess we head for the nearest gate.
You guys were heading
Yeah, La
north.
Porte
out-
de Cure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
look
closest
here.
gate, straight line gate. But
Porte
you
de
guys by
Cure.
this point are pawing your way up the walls, right? You can't
Mhm.
see squat.
She is
Um,
continuing to just make sure that everyone is still there.
Yep. There's little
and,
fires here and there. Every time you touch somebody, by now it's just poof, 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 poof. That waxy ash. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like Stefano's smart, but she just, she's kind of weirdly in mom mode.
Yep.
She's
Absolutely.
like a mode that she's never really been in.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one
And
of the
luckily
times
we have
when you
Fatima there with us
Yeah.
to help
Yeah, we
also
have
with
Fatima
mom.
also,
yes, and
but-
one of the times that you put your hand on
She's in doctor mode,
Carol,
but she's-
like you kind of pat Carol, come on, come on. For some reason, the ash comes away with glitter in it.
I remember the glitter from last night, so
yeah,
it's fine.
it's all good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Sid doesn't.
Yeah.
Sid will get surprised later when he goes to my house.
Mhm.
So you guys make it to this. You guys made it all the way out of the city, right? Before these two.
Yeah, we made it
caught
through
you?
the
Okay,
port
Yeah.
and kind of trying to make sure
And-
people didn't go off on their own.
Perfect.
Some people left in groups, but Artemis didn't want anybody going off on their own out
Right.
into
And
the
then
unknown.
Sid caught up, grabbed some constructs and
And some kids.
and some
Yep.
kids.
Yep.
Put kids in the he got two squads of
There were lamplighters and garbage constructs.
garbage.
Basically,
Yeah, and in the garbage bins
we were
he put,
basically
like,
taking
Oh, yeah.
kids, infirm people, people who've fallen, anyone who was
Anybody
like,
that
left
could fit.
behind.
Yep. So
So we got a whole squad of Oscar the Grouches.
So, with that, we are finally back all together just outside the city.
And we had the conversation about like what's next? What's our future?
The goal? You can see on
We
the
didn't
map.
really make any decisions. but yeah.
We're not showing it to chat, but you guys can see on the map the plume and how it's spreading. You can also see on the map you are about equidistant from Rome and Venice. Venice is to your northeast. Rome is pretty much due south, slightly east. The rest of the region around, as far as you know, is all but devoid of people. If Inceptum was right, there's a ring of technophants around the city that were facing in, so to speak. They were keeping people from leaving rather than protecting people. So that may or may not be there. But
No,
it
they're
doesn't
keeping
matter.
people from coming back into the city, right?
If anybody tried to come in, yes, but the Inceptum's
Got it.
claim was that they were actually there to keep people from going out rather than protecting you guys from some outside danger.
Got it.
Oh, I thought it was like you could leave freely, but you just never could come back in.
Well, that's what you were told.
Oh.
But
Oh, okay,
Inceptum
okay,
is
yeah, I see.
claiming that you were also told that everybody that left died, right?
That's true.
But you were also told that it was bad guys that killed them.
And Hotel California plays in my head.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, that's okay.
Never leave.
Does it feel better? You feel better now that I wrecked it? Now that it's an evil, nasty place? Yeah. There you go. So, again, you can't see more than, for the purposes of this, maybe 10 meters, 10 yards in this kind of bubbly dome around you. And even in there, it's raining ash and these heavier pellets of pumice. Your little group is fairly significant. I mean, there's quite a pile of you with the constructs and everything else. But around you, you're far enough away from the gates now that you can hear people coming out, and then just most of them are just scattering. You're trying to catch them, though, right?
Fatima was also like adopting kids around Carol's age,
Yep.
like
Yeah,
mother.
the
pretty
the
much
teenagers,
every
yeah.
child that we took with
Yeah,
us. is coming.
okay, so that's, you're going to end up with kids and teens. So, yeah, perfect. Okay, but other than that, most people are just coming out and just sort of heading out because there's no sense of direction. They're just sort of fanning out when they come out of the gate. But there's not really that many of them, and that number just drops off and just stops while you guys have your conversation about where you were going to go.
Yeah, because we ended with like Sid having his, kind of shakily falling to his knees because he's, exhausted.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. And them helping him get back up between Artemis and Verite.
Yes.
Yeah, Sid's kind of in that 1,000-yard stare mode. He's exhausted mentally and physically. He lost everybody. He doesn't have anything to remember his parents by. Like, the photo's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of making sure his hammer doesn't fall out of his hand. That's about as much as he can handle right now.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Delilah is similarly. Things are different than the way that I imagined they would be last week when I watched the VOD. But, I mean, metaphorically, her world was crashing down around her. And just as soon as that happened, it literally crashed down around her.
Yep.
Yeah. So she is shaken to her core, but there's like a strange. She's in shock for sure. But like subconsciously, and it's not something that she knows in the front of her head yet.
Yeah.
But she's got a direction to go. That doesn't make the fact that she just lost everything any better.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's no guarantee that like her parents would remember her, or that like she'll even find them. They could be long gone.
What if Inceptum lied?
Exactly. Like
little voice in your head. Little voice in your head. Yeah.
and like she still doesn't know if she trusts in Septum.
Well, it's a little late now.
So her world was just obliterated, and she doesn't know if the one that she's been offered is real.
Fair.
And I don't know how, like, for some reason, me as a player, I'm having trouble connecting to the trauma.
Yeah, fair. Fair enough. This is too big. I mean, yeah.
Watch Chernobyl.
That's
That's what went through
that's
my
not
head
helpful.
for that
Yeah.
whole episode.
Yeah.
Just like
Ouch. Yeah.
she's in a very similar reaction state to Sid.
Just
Like
shocked out. Yeah.
everything is gone.
Yes.
And like, you know, the Demasis were like, you know, we have each other, and Sid and I are like, now we have nothing.
Well, you got some constructs and some kids, and a handful of teenagers.
Yeah, I do have a
and
teenager.
a
I guess.
coach
And you have
mother.
2 Demasis.
Yes.
And we have 2 Demasis.
Speaking of which, Artemis.
Yes.
As you there was that gust of wind that sort of cleared that view so you could look back over the burning city of Florence, ruins of Florence now, to be more accurate. What are your thoughts?
There have been a lot of changes, I think, for everybody over the last, like, week in game?
Yep.
Something like
I think
that.
that's been about it. Yep.
And I mean, I think it's hard because it's their home, and like it's the one semblance of kind of normalcy in this like weird after all the dying happened.
Yeah.
So I think there's some part of her that is processing that still. I don't think she's actually like fully processed that this is happening.
Yeah.
You know, she was just arguing with Coas last night about, you know, we need to think carefully about the plan if we're going to go to Venice.
Yep.
After Thomas, because like you don't do any help to anybody if we're killed. But I think for the most part she didn't have super strong, like her job is very mobile.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of it's not, she didn't work at the Citadel.
It's
She didn't
contract work. Yeah.
Contract work. And I think last week I mentioned that she does think of Thomas and the fact that he, you know, left for Venice to try and help his parents. Well, that's in the city where his house is undoubtedly now destroyed, with where we can only assume his parents' bodies are. Assumedly, we don't know, but
yeah. And if that's true, he hasn't turned them in, which is a crime bordering.
Yeah,
on
and
a
we've talked
sin
about
here.
that. Yeah,
So,
we've
yeah.
talked about that briefly, but and he doesn't know. He doesn't know that that's all gone, and he's like, Carol is upper like 18 to 20-ish, and
Yep.
we believe Thomas was like 13, and
Yep.
so he's that stage of teenager where you think you know everything, but you don't know everything.
Yeah. Yes. Unbeknownst to your characters, he's wandering around in the Technophant outfit right now, doing quite well for himself, but you wouldn't know that.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that. She's
Yep.
I think she's not processing the actual
I love
loss
that.
and is just trying to keep head counts and make sure
Yes.
everyone's
Yep.
like there. Like for a while she was like worried about Coas and like if he was gonna come back, like if she would have to go in and drag his ass out of there.
Yep.
Like he's back at the
Again.
group, Sid's here.
Yeah.
Like
Perfect.
that's kind of where she is.
I love the idea that nobody's gone like, I got this. Everybody's just like, nope, shattered. Yep, shattered a whole bunch.
Push that back away.
Yeah, Coas.
I do think out of all 4 of them, Coas is the most kind of
Yep.
coherent.
You actually mentioned that last time, I remember. Yeah.
Again, there's still the fact that he's completely like gonna be out of his routine, out of his normalcy, and out of the familiarity of the streets that he's kind of memorized and kind of knows like the back of his hand. However, he's not as attached to the place as he was to
Sure.
now. Speaking about this, something that does flash through his mind is that he'll now with the city just completely destroyed, he'll never be up. There's going to be always that one unsolved case
Yep.
about what happened to the sibling and the specifics around that.
All that's gone. All the evidence you can imagine.
All
is
the
gone.
evidence, all the info, and that is the kind of revelation that kind of hits him a bit hard. Maybe not as hard as the rest of them, but he kind of has to take a step back and like he's like at first he's like it's not too bad. We can rebuild. It's fine. We've got Artemis here, and then with Artemis comes Apollo.
Yeah, and the fires in the
thoughts.
city, you're not rebuilding anything. Nothing's coming out of there. It's hopeless.
Shit.
Take a happy break.
Squishmallows.
Okay, there we go.
Are you ready? Okay. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, but first you got to get out from under this volcano. So that's where everybody's all torn up. Are you? Oh, sorry, Cole.
I would like to
you're
add
done. Yep.
one more thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And this kind of tears him up a bit inside. However, he thinks back to the conversation he had with Thomas, and the words that he told Thomas kind of echo back into his mind. You have to let go of the past. You have to accept what happened and move on. And there's resistance there. Obviously, it's a lot easier to kind of preach and then rather than take in what you preach.
Yep.
But it's starting to get a bit past, especially with now he has no choice.
Yes. So the four of you are kind of, with the help to some extent of Fatima, she's sort of got the teenage girls together over there, and she's sort of organizing them to help with the kids. So that's sort of becoming a self-contained group. Verite and Stefano look like they've forgotten how to move. They're just sort of
taking care of some.
Yeah,
Oh,
Verite's
that's right.
helping
Yeah,
Artemis with
you
Saved
got
my
you got
life,
hit
now
on.
it's my
Yeah, you
turn.
got. He's on your arm, but he's just blank. That's all he's doing is just holding you. And Stefano just keeps looking like there's something he's missing, like he's looking for the off button. They're just shocked. It's going to be up to the four of you to decide when and where you move. Everybody else is just locked down. Coas, because you've made the point that you're, you think you're probably of the four of them the most coherent at the moment.
Mhm.
You kind of pop back to one of the pumice stones kind of catches you right there. Ding! Kind of knocks you back into reality.
Right, taking stock. Kind of looks over, kind of northward. Right.
You can tell if you move east, you're going to be getting out from under this. Like the further east you go, the lighter this is going to get.
Yeah, because it's moving
looking-
north to south, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at the map. Actually, where is Venice on the map? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's kind of northeastward.
Yep.
Right, guys. I think we should get moving. This way, we'll be getting out from under the fog, dust, cloud thingy, and we'll be headed towards a direction. Someone that's not here. I don't think it's up for a debate. I think we just need to go.
The rest of you.
So let's go.
Artemis just starts to walk with
Yeah.
Sid on his arm, which kind of starts you
mean
moving Sid
Verite?
in Verite.
No,
Or, sorry, yeah.
Verite is on one
Sorry.
side, Artemis is on the other.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
These two small individuals
So yeah,
helping
Verite
Sid.
starts to
It's
just starts to
6'3"
walk because he's been
behemoth.
told to walk, right? So yeah. You guys head off into the slightly
Delilah.
lightning. Yeah.
Is going to go over to Stefano and say, would you like to come with us?
Snaps around and looks at you like, yes, please. He kind of grins and he says, can I be your unpaid intern? He kind of shrinks back like he's afraid he might get hit.
Sure.
Okay. I'm used to not having anything to eat or drink. Days at a time. It was awful. Which way are we going? And you can see he's trying to use humor to get himself going.
It's a mood.
Yeah.
I
Sid's
believe we're going to Venice.
Yeah, we're headed to Venice.
Venice.
Sid
Okay.
doesn't know why. Sid is
Yeah,
new to
okay.
this,
I
this
can-
part.
yeah.
Sid stops for a second when they hear we're going to Venice. He's like, wait, I need to do something. And he just tears off and he finds a spot that kind of it's sort of a raised area, and he rummages around in his bag and he pulls out a white hard hat,
Okay.
and he looks at it. He's like, Ted Lumbee, you son of a bitch. This was supposed to be yours. Least I can do is give you a good spot to sit. And he grabs like a stake or something, just bangs it into the ground, puts the hat on top.
Yep.
The hat was kind of it was Tomas's old position.
Okay.
Because Tomas moved into Sid's spot.
Yep.
Sid was going to give that to Ted
Yep.
that morning as
Right.
part of the inspection.
Right. Makes sense. Okay. You hang that on there, and as you do, it starts to vibrate. But it's not an earthquake. It's too small. It's not even an aftershock. It's just. And then you hear around, because you said you're on a little hill. So around the edges of the hill, coming from one side towards you, you hear the sound of running feet, of like hooves.
Mhm.
And then you hear it's got to be boars. It's got to be wild boars. They split and go around the hill that you're standing on, directly towards their party.
Oh, God. Wild
Um,
boars are nasty.
Yeah. Sid
Oh
kind of
shit!
They've been
Good
panicked.
thing I
by
have my
the-
rifle.
They've been panicked by the attack, right?
yeah.
Or by the volcano.
It takes him a second to kind of like register what's going on because he was kind of lost in his own shit.
Yeah.
And when he realizes where they're going, he calls out to them, to Artemis and Delilah and Coas, and he's like, just kind of an oi, look out.
Yeah.
Not really sure what to say.
I'm gonna grab my repeating hand crossbow.
Okay. Artemis, you said thank goodness I got my rifle, so I assume that
Yeah,
means
she
you're
grabbed
drawing
her
your rifle.
rifle.
Yeah, Delilah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab everyone else and try to like get behind the biggest piece of debris I can find.
You're still in the open farming fields. The only thing sticking up is the hill that Sid's on, which he kind of just went up in front of you. So,
Oh, can we get to the hill?
oh yeah.
We'll try and get on the high ground.
Okay, so you start pushing the kids and the teens and Mama Fatima.
Start running up that hill.
Yeah. So, and Coas and Artemis, you see everybody heading up that hill. Are you still going to stand down here on the flat ground and try and fight off a herd of boars? Of course, a herd of
Oh,
boars.
no,
Already
no,
got
Wait,
it
we're
was
boars.
probably no, but like
So-
yeah,
More like
sort of
holding up, like
escorting?
kind of as
rear.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Sid, you
just in
can't.
case.
There's a gust of. I want to do this way. A gust of ash blows in. Sid, you can't see a fucking thing from up on the hill. you just hear this endless stampede below you. You can't hear people noises. You can't hear voices. You just hear the occasional crack and bang as they run into each other. The snort and crunch. One or two of them come up the hill and kind of go around you in the ash. And it's just woof, woof, just dark gray through the gray around you. You realize if one got on you, you'd never have time to react. Another
Yeah,
one
not even.
past you. There's three of them up here. There's got to be 100 down around the base of this hill.
Mhm. Sid hunkers down
Mm-hmm.
and he starts calling out to the others.
And just making a noise for them to move towards.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
just something.
Okay.
And he fires up the forge hammer. He gets the torch
boom,
going.
Boom, 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 boom.
So he
Okay. Oh, the
yeah,
torch.
to-
Oh, right, because it's got that's right. It's got a flame
yeah,
on
it's a
it.
whole bunch of different things.
Oh, he's here doing
Swiss Army hammer.
the old Statue of Liberty shit on top of the
Yeah.
hill over here. Yeah.
Although the image in my mind is a little bit different, but that's okay.
Yeah, Delilah and Co. Everybody, all the NPCs are ahead of you, and they are gone safely up the hill. You see a couple of the boars rush by, but you three in particular are still sort of down on the flats when they get here, and it's just
Can we also not see?
you can't see squat. It is just
Got it.
it's almost like just thick spots in the ash go by. And you can actually, they're going by so close sometimes they change the fall of the pumice, so it's actually coming towards you in sort of a draft. And it's just past the left, just past to the right, just. You can see every once in a while you see one of them's coming right at you and they turn. They are avoiding you, but only when they see you.
Mhm.
And their vision is only ever about like that, and it's now about like that. So you are getting
So-
like whisker smacks on the way by. They're so close, you can
gonna-
smell them. Yeah.
I'm gonna start just making noise so that way they know
Right.
where I am,
So
so that way they
Oh,
avoid.
yeah, I wanted to stop there anyway because Koas, yeah, you said you got
Yep.
your hand crossbow out, so you're just
Mhm.
and there's boom, 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 and then you just start making noise. Yeah.
What I'm gonna do to make noise is I'm going to grab.
Ooh, using an item. Ooh,
I know.
damn, that's right. We're playing a game. Fuck.
I'm gonna grab my Sonic Chudgeon and just
Yeah,
start.
Oh, perfect. Just
whacking the
bung,
floor.
bung, 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 bung. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. That is
That
perfect.
verite, like,
Yeah.
Oh
really
yeah, he's
rigged.
got like
Speaking of which, yeah, I'm gonna say because Delilah was escorting me, you're the only one that sees it as Verite is running up the hill. He's building something. He's got a whole robot's worth of parts, and he's just running up the hill, and he's doing that thing where his hands are working without the rest of his body paying any attention to what they're doing. And Stefano, every couple of steps, he's like, like he just like, I can't believe, yeah, yeah.
rubbernecking.
Yeah, while still trying to run up this hill. All the NPCs are going to be safe because I'm that kind of GM. But, so yeah, Artemis, I would cut to you next because yeah, you got your rifle on your shoulder and just like they're
Yeah, she was
closer to
expecting-
you than the length of your rifle is by the time you
Yeah,
can see
she
them.
was
Right?
expecting, they were expecting to be able to see.
Yes.
So it's like, it's not going to be helpful to shoot where you can't see.
Yep.
So, I mean, she's just going to try and avoid, like, try to, like, see the shadows.
Yep.
She doesn't really have a way to make noise or anything, and I don't think she's really thinking that far ahead. This is kind of, again,
Koas is
out
quite
of
close,
depth.
going bang, 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 bang on the ground. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is all kind of like she's been out in the scrap, but this is different.
Yeah, this is wild animals. You
We
guys, by
haven't
the
really
way,
seen
you're still
wild
in the,
animals,
you
right?
guys aren't even in the wild yet. This is still in the farmland. This is still wheat
Yeah.
that they're charging.
But like most of the
through,
animals
so
in the city were like constructs at this
all
point,
of them
right?
would have been, except for
Yeah.
very, very few pets, one of which you rescued. Yeah. But yeah, so
So, yeah,
imagine
she's just gonna be
3
looking for
foot tall
shadows and trying to-
yeah, 3 foot tall pigs and 4 foot tall wheat in an ash storm. That's what you're trying to deal with.
bull in a corn maze.
Just corn.
He has an
yeah.
electric rifle too, so that's going to give off a little bit of light.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, they're just flowing past you. Delilah, you are sort of right up with the bunch of people, right, as you're helping them up the hill. So most of that's is happening behind you. As you're moving forward with the group, there is ahead of you an ow! And you look up and it's like you're waiting for an animal, and there isn't any, but the group ahead of you has stopped, and you kind of bump into the back of Fatima. And she's going, "What's wrong? What's wrong, girls? What's wrong, girls?" And you just hear, "Ow!" You can't see, but it's just ahead of you. Sounds like a teenage girl if you had to guess.
Yeah, she's going to try to like push her way up
Yep.
to the front and be like, "What's wrong? What happened?"
You see one of them laying on the ground. The others are just standing around looking down at her, not helping, just staring down at her. She has clearly broken her leg just above the ankle. It went under a rock, and it's and it's just puffing up as you watch.
Ooh. Okay.
This is, but remember the healing level of abilities that you have in this world. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
immediately like med kit out.
Yep. How many
getting-
doses does your med kit have?
It has 2 right now.
Okay. I'll just say you're not going to be able to recharge that.
Nah, I realized that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with 2 charges, you whip the med kit out. This kid is in front of you with a broken leg. What do you do?
So I know I have like several like let's see, that gives me
You get 1 extra.
extra
This is-
success.
This
in
is a
advanced
level
medicine.
2 trauma, we'll say, because
Okay.
it's not life threatening, but well, it is kind of because they can't move, but it's not immediately life threatening. It's situationally life threatening, which doesn't count.
That
it's only a
means
2.
what I need 2 successes.
You got a thing that gives if you use your kit, that gives you 1, right? Automatically.
I think that's how
It-
it works.
Yeah, it gives me 1 automatically,
Yeah.
and then I need 1 more to get rid of both traumas.
Yes. Or
Okay.
you could not use your kit and just generate 2 successes. And
I can
make it
do
go
that
away
too.
way. So yes.
I think I'm actually gonna do that.
Okay.
So I
That's
have
gear.
2.
Oh no, it's not gear. It's this is your 2 spades.
It is
Perfect.
gear.
It is gear because
It is
that's
gear.
your skills. Yes. Yeah.
I have 2
Perfect.
spades.
2 spades. So 2 successes. So you
Yep.
you don't use your kit. Well, what I mean is you don't use a recharge the fancy bits of your kit. You do
Yeah,
splint it
yeah.
up and get a proper heal going. And your version of a proper heal, like the bone is knitting by the time you're done, right? This is Florentian medicine at its finest, even without expending a charge on your kit.
Mhm.
So her friends help her up, and they kind of form, kind of like Sid was earlier, being supported by the 2 on either side. And Fatima's immediately, "All right, thank you. I don't remember your name at the moment, dear. I'm just going to call you the medic." And start, "All right, girls, let's go, girls. Come on. Everyone gets a
They
child.
never got
remember?"
introduced.
Oh,
Everybody-
They never got
got
introduced.
introduced.
Yep. And yeah, she makes sure that every teenage girl picks up the kid that they're responsible for, and the whole herd heads up safely into
Make
the
sure
hill.
you have a buddy.
Yeah.
You have your
Um,
exit buddy.
Oh, by the way, Sid, you were standing at the top of the hill with your constructs and all your kids, so you're not one to laugh. There are NPCs friggin' everywhere in this campaign. But yes, Delilah, you're the first one that's safely up on the hill. Other than Sid, who was up there all along.
I'm just like ushering them up,
Yep.
up.
Which leaves the siblings back at ground level. The last of the beasts runs by, just and you're suddenly standing in this silence.
Oh,
It's not
Puts it away.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Because we still can't see.
You still can't see, but you can hear
Yeah.
now that there's. Now it's just back to the tuk 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 of the pumice and the ash.
all right then. Artemis.
I'm
Uh,
here.
Yeah, you're a couple
Oh.
steps away, and you kind of. Oh, yeah, you're right there. You are.
all right. After you up the hill.
Right. Tries to orient
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's
because
You can
Yeah.
still hear Sid yelling. He was yelling.
Oh, there he
"Oi!"
is.
Yeah.
And probably could hear the kid yelling
Yeah.
in pain.
Oh yeah, the
too.
pain. Yeah. So yeah, you guys follow up and you get to the top of this hill and reorganize as a group.
Sid looks at the kid with the broken leg and looks to Fatima and asks, I brought all these constructs with us to make things easy to carry. If she doesn't mind taking a lift, I'm sure Georgie over there will help her on the travel. He's at this point he's already named
Yeah.
all the fucking
Oh
constructs
yeah.
he's got with
yeah.
him.
Please tell me Georgie isn't the one that stinks as they help her over.
Oh, that's Ted.
That's
No offense, Ted. And then hops over and gladly takes the lift.
Yeah.
And as they kind of catch up, oh right, Fatima, Delilah, Sid, Delilah, Fatima.
Hello.
Hi.
Sid tips a hat he doesn't have.
It's all she's all very prim and proper and haute couture, and there's a hello, but you can't help but notice that there's a big machete hanging on her hip, and she's wearing kind of a pith helmet, sort of safari outfit, sort of themed. Yeah.
He's not just like-
Machete's got like tape on the handle, like it's really well used. Yeah.
She's an opportunist.
Yes.
you know.
Oh dear.
Now is not the time to question things.
Oh no, now is the time to admit things. I flat out killed that prick.
I was
Sorry,
just gonna
Carol.
say,
I
Sid's-
wasn't going to
Sorry,
ask
Sid was going to,
questions.
Sorry,
Sid was going to
Carol.
go like this. Is like always be prepared.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
who-
assumed I wasn't going to ask any questions though.
Who did she kill?
It's my
Asshole.
husband, dear, so it's perfectly okay.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Apparently,
You're
she's
not a
really
cop,
gonna
are
hurt
you?
people.
Yeah, I mean, I was. I don't think I no longer have any jurisdiction, so I'm good.
Okay.
He's my brother. He's fine.
He's just a professional snoop now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Though those two do work for the Citadel. Or
Right,
did.
well-
work
I'm
to
dead. I don't think any of
Did.
us have jobs anymore.
Sid, you're the only one that knows that the Citadel has actually collapsed.
No, we saw it fall.
No, we saw it.
Oh, you
collapse.
guys did. That's right.
We saw
Before
that
that
hand
happened, before
falling
the
in.
Ash got
Yeah,
here.
they would have the
Delilah
the legs
doesn't
of
know.
David's are right there.
Delilah doesn't know though, right?
I think everyone
Or
would
were
would
you
assume
guys
she
all
was
together?
here.
Was that no?
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get the
Isn't
timing,
the
so, yeah.
Citadel like pretty prominent
Yeah.
in the sky?
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
also
you
right
guys,
next to
I
each other.
remember now. You guys saw the dome go thump from
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
you were. Yeah, so yeah, you know it's down. Sid's the only one that was there, but yeah, right.
And so
Delilah's
taking
like
kind of the-
shaking like she could have been in that.
Yeah.
She and Stefano could have. Yeah.
Yep. If Stefano had waited till you went to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sid's like, there's not much left of the Citadel.
But
The cat just trails off.
as Koas mentioned, you weren't here for this said. The son of my patrons, the one that Koas has been doing shenanigans with,
Shenanigans.
yes, like stealing things.
No,
And
you,
breaking into the
it's
Citadel.
but the last time it's not it's not stealing. It's whatever. You gotta go ahead.
He stole from the Citadel. You blatantly said that happened.
Well, no. No. I didn't coerce him to. I even condemned it.
This is two
Yeah, but you-
shadowy figures standing in the rain
Anyway.
and the ash.
Anyway,
stealing.
This 13-year-old
Taking.
kid, he left prior to this to Venice. He's out there on his own.
They just sort of like the creaking turn to Koas. You let a child into the wilderness.
No, I didn't let a child into this. By the time I got the message, he was long gone.
You let him escape into the wilderness.
Escape. Oh, I'm not even a guardian of this kid. I
Just turns
I,
back to Artemis.
don't even watch after
Ow.
him.
How do you survive this son of a bitch?
He's my brother. You love him, you hate him. I'm frustrating too, so I can't really blame anybody.
I feel
for
like
it.
you're putting too much responsibility on me for this.
Yes, you're the one that suspected
he's
his
in Venice,
parents
eh?
were not alive.
Yeah, but you're also the one that was in the same building as him all the time.
I did not
Regardless
go
of
into the main
who
house.
Did what? He's out there now, and he doesn't have
Yes.
anyone to look after him.
Yeah.
Which
Whether
is
he's
why
doing all right
we-
or not, we should check on him.
No, that's
which
that
is
was
why
the
we were
plan.
previously talking about Venice rather than any other place, unless you had a somewhere else, Sid.
Sid just sort of like stares at Artemis for a second, just like, I've got no one.
Well, you've got us.
Venice. Right?
Yeah.
Venice, and it'll be out of the smoke, so
He's
it will be going
coming.
away.
Which way is that?
Northeast?
East from here would
North
probably
northeast.
east. And
Does
then,
anyone have a compass? Do compi still exist?
Let's
we
try and
do.
get out of the smoke
Yeah,
first.
a
And
a
then-
manual
let's-
compass would absolutely
The
exist.
ash.
It's
Um,
literally a magnet floating in water. Dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll
So
give
they
it
might
to
have
you.
been like,
I'm gonna
screw
give
this.
I'm gonna give Sid one in his hammer. That makes sense. He
Oh,
does everything
so
else.
sorry,
So.
Hammer.
Like one of those dashboard ones.
Yeah, yeah, with the bubble.
Oh, I got hold of it.
With a compass in the
it's
top
sitting in
and
the
something
it's
that
sitting in the
tells time.
pommel.
But it's a little
sitting-
happy face that just points north with a finger. Yeah. Anyway, you can find your way out of this. Down
reminds me of
off,
one of those like minimal watches.
so down off the hill and across the last of the fields. Because the ash is so thick, you're almost kind of there. It looms above you by the time it's in front of you. This row of trees. At first you think forest, but then you realize they're orderly. They're all sort of the same size.
Orchard.
Orchard country.
It's an orchard covered in ash. You walk in the first section, you can see as you look around, you kind of come in between areas, and you can see to your left apples and to your right citrus, but all covered in gray ash, gray trees, gray leaves, gray fruit. The bottom of the leaves is a little bit green.
Delilah's going to grab some fruit because she can like wash it off later
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Because she knows that they're gonna need food.
Yes.
Sid's just like, he's kind of lost because at this point he mentions like, my mother worked in an orchard like this. There's no way she'd still be commissioned. Kind of follows along.
So when I say citrus, I mean limes. So
Yeah.
it's limes and apples that you guys initially are picking. As you move slightly further, because I'm assuming you're sort of just picking the easy stuff as you move in that direction.
Probably.
Put the lime in a coconut. You have to find a coconut first.
But
But
wrong.
you, so yeah, you keep sort of moving and plucking, and you come out of that area into an area of olives. They do require, like, you can't just eat olives off the trees. But yeah, this is a 3-section orchard that had apples and limes and olives. You're just walking through this now gray ghost, 3-dimensional ghost land. Plucking
And
fruit
we still
down it,
have
and
the
there's
whole pack
the
of
whole
people.
pack, yeah. And everybody's, once they see Delilah doing it, they're all sort of grabbing fruit. The thing is, you said you were going to wash it, and yeah, you're going to want to, but when you first grab it and pluck it, that shock shakes off 99% of it. So you've suddenly got this bright red apple or this bright green lime in this
that'd be so
gray
weird.
space.
I'm sure we're also covered.
Oh
in
yeah,
it, too.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's every
Mhm.
step is just. By the time you guys, the ones at the back that were sort of standing guard, by the time you walk through, the dust is up to you past your waist. Right, this is volcanic ash. It's super, super fine. Every time you move, it swirls everywhere. It's like those liquid in liquid things. Yeah, it's that fluid.
It's a suspension.
Like Kratos with Ned Flanders' mustache, yeah. And every time you move, suddenly there's like a cascade and it goes down your back, and it's got that waxy feel to it. Mm-hmm.
Who's leading? Sid with the compass, or Cohen?
I would say it's like both of us, because
Yeah, probably both of us in the front.
me with my mental state and Sid with his compass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Delilah is going to go to, because I think Fatima is like managing the chillins and stuff.
Yep.
Um, Delilah
He's
is gonna,
capable.
is yeah. Delilah is going to hang back to Artemis first and say, "Are you hurt?"
I think I'm good. Bruised. I got stuck behind a bureau, but I'm fine.
Oh God.
Are you okay?
Um, I don't know. I'm numb right now.
Yeah, that
I'm gonna go check on the boys.
yeah, stay back here just in case. Because I'm assuming she's kind of like the back of the herd.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I figured. So she goes up to the front then, which I imagine takes a bit of time because she's kind of like pawing her way through people,
Yeah, and
being
the
like,
dust
"Hi,
and-
sorry,
yeah.
sorry, hi."
Yeah.
um, and then she makes it to Sid and Kois, and she puts a hand on each of their shoulders to like, "Hi, hi, I'm behind you. Don't freak."
Yeah. Hey.
I just wanted to make sure you two are all right.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I can't speak for Sid here, but I didn't. Didn't take much from the falling debris and stuff like that. So I'm doing all right.
And she looks at Sid.
Sid's. It looks like there's a lot more he wants to say, but he doesn't know how.
How is he looking physically?
Ragged. There's streaks of sweat. He's been bumped and bruised. I mean, he was in the Citadel during one of the aftershocks. He looks like someone just threw him down a mountain. And he's still trying to process the non-physical toll that took.
If you need to heal up or anything, just find me.
Thank you, Delilah.
And I mean that for more than just your body. Oh, that sounded weird. I mean like your mind. Like
He doesn't catch that. He just sort of, yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you. Maybe later when we're safe.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll also take you up on that another time. But honestly, for right now, I don't
That's fair.
think I'm in like a buffer period.
500 Shades of Grey.
Relief.
Yeah.
It's the emo Crayola set.
I would have bought it.
The goth one just
Sometimes
comes
it's
with
nice
50
to have
black
multiple shades
crayons.
of gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black, slightly less black, a
Yeah.
little bit more black.
The blackest black.
Blue gray.
Yeah.
And definitely
Blue
not
gray,
definitely
warm
not
gray.
Vanta. Yeah, definitely
And
not
hot
Vanta
pink.
black. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So-
with that, you continue on through the orchards. You find an actual road in this orchard as you get towards the end of it, and you move forward on it, and you come out of the edge of the orchard into this, what obviously used to be a beautifully manicured yard with a huge mansion up on a small hilltop. You can't, like, all you can see from here is this big yard. So I'm going to shut up because you come out of the tree. Let me start again. You come out of the trees onto manicured grass lawn. Everything's still covered in ash and you can't see shit, but you're all of a sudden on a manicured grass lawn.
This is strange.
The ground feel different to you.
It looks different. It looks like someone's been taking care of, or at least maybe like a construct's been taking care of this. But this so far out of the city
In the distance,
doesn't quite make sense.
As you say construct, in the distance you hear boom, and then a couple minutes later a shape comes out of the crowd, or out of the clouds. It's mowing the ashy grass. It's a
I'm
construct.
gonna put a. I always forget what you guys can do with these constructs. Can one of you guys like see what it's programmed to do? I mean, obviously it's to mow the lawn, but can you see anything else other than that? Like when
Sid
or
can,
how?
Sid can
riding
give
the lawnmower.
basic, yeah. Sid can give basic commands. Delilah, you can make this thing sing and dance.
Mhm.
Can you see when this was programmed? Or by who?
Again, it's on a lawnmower. I get the lawnmower to stop.
Right, yeah,
Not
yeah,
tell me
yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of go up and
It's
try
kind
to
of
like.
been built into the lawnmower. Like it's got,
Yeah.
it's a construct, but it's kind of
transformer.
sits on top
Can
of
I
a
try
built
to,
into a lawnmower. Yeah,
Can
Purpose built.
Delilah try
Yeah.
to just
a
like?
custom.
I imagine it's going at like a slow enough speed
Yep.
that she could just kind of like hop onto it.
Absolutely. Yep. Just jump
Okay,
up onto
she's
it.
gonna
Yep.
hop onto it and she's going to turn it off.
Yep.
And then she's going to look at the programming.
Yep. Approximately, roughly, 30 years ago.
Oh, this guy's old.
Wasn't
About the
30
time.
years ago?
Yep. When everybody died.
This would be like an alpha construct. It's 30 years old.
Wait, 30 years old.
Somebody came to the table with the idea. Somebody rich came to the table with the idea and saved Florence.
Oh no.
I was still in London.
Which means
I need
somebody
my
was doing
alphabets.
illegal experiments building constructs before the fall.
This was
Well,
before the
during the
fall.
fall.
Are they?
Right at the
I'm
fall, yeah. Well, no, they had a
jealous.
working lawnmower system
Yeah,
at
that's true.
the fall.
Yeah, which means it was built pre-fall because they had prototypes.
Prototypes.
In
Yeah.
the distance, you hear another one. It's a slightly different noise, like it might be doing a slightly different job.
All right. Well, then whoever we're dealing with here, whoever set these constructs, might still be alive
Or not.
or not.
So-
I mean, it's been
So
30
they
years.
run on. Do they still run on Steam then?
Yes, Delilah,
Okay.
with that information, yes. This isn't a construct that's been running for 30 years. This is a network. They're getting rewatered, refired, maintenance work done on them. They're doing their jobs, but they're different because, like Sid said, they are purpose built. This thing does one thing. It isn't a construct that can be programmed to do things. This is a lawnmower.
This is different. These only do one thing. But this has been serviced recently.
Delilah, how many spades do you have in your hand at the moment, or successes? Because I know you got a joker in there, I think.
Yeah, I only have a joker right
so just
now.
a joker. That counts as one success. You
Is
recognize.
that a play? Or...
Nope. Keep it in your
Okay.
hand. This is just
Okay.
this is just what my way of finding out how much you know. It's kind of like a
perception check.
passive check. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like that.
Yeah, passage. check.
You look down again. You recognize the work. It's the lady, the original firstest builder.
Oh my god, what was her name?
I don't remember. That's why I just referred to her as the first builder. Because
This is her. This is Jesus Christ.
Which means the story's a lie. She was doing illegal experiments. Yes, she saved the world, maybe, unless she's wrong. Yeah.
This is no, okay. I don't know how much you guys have ever been told, but there was a woman who was the one who basically invented constructs, and she's supposed to be like the hero. But this is not.
She was, until today, still alive in the Citadel running things. Being venerated.
She was supposed to be in the Citadel. She should be dead.
Yeah, Sid's like, there's not a good chance you made it out. People on the ground.
Wait
floor
a
barely
second, but
made it out.
Do you guys ever see the bigwigs leave the Citadel? Because who's to say that she's ever been in the Citadel in the first place if these guys are maintenance?
And Septim is a capital B builder, and he's not
Is he?
allowed to leave.
He
Yes.
wants to be.
No, he wasn't.
Or-
a
Sorry,
capital
no,
B
no,
builder.
sorry, he's not even a capital B builder.
Fatima's husband.
Yes,
is.
sorry, yeah, right,
was.
sorry. Yeah, and Septim is only a regular B builder, and he's not allowed to leave. So there's no way that they would allow.
But why have this place and someone's still servicing this, and they're not allowed to leave? So then who the hell is here?
Are you guys continuing to
Unless-
move forward as you have this conversation?
Yeah.
Delilah is.
Okay, yeah.
I've got my repeating handcrafts out and
Yeah.
just kind of ready to go in.
So,
Trying to
as a
think.
sort of loose knit group, you move out. There's a slight rise ahead of you. So I'm assuming, I mean, you'd go to the top of the hill, right? If nothing else.
Mm.
So you start to sort of
Mhm.
drift up the hill. You see hedges loom out of the. They're still gray, all covered in ash, except way underneath. 'Cause they're so
Elizabeth
thick.
Gory is the name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My doc wasn't loading.
Thank you, Lore Master. This is why you were the only
I
person
had to
with
look
that
up
title.
on the doc.
I don't care. You knew where to look. That's Lore Master. That's 1,000 IQ.
I was
shit.
doing the same thing, but my thing wouldn't load.
You're both
Yeah,
brilliant.
sometimes it's
There's
just
enough
either
brilliant
way.
to go around. There's plenty. But
My mouse is acting up.
so
If
you see one hedge, one side of it is recently trimmed. It's all green.
do we see a house?
At this point, as you get into the hedgerows, you can realize you're now in an ornamental garden. Like there's
Can
a
I get
little
out
pool
my,
a couple feet to one side. You can still only see, I'll give you
Mm-hmm.
back up to that sort of 5 or 6 meters, 5 or 6 yards.
Can I get out that like dynamo flashlight that I
Yeah.
have?
Yes.
Sid starts humming "God Save the Queen."
Yes, it looks exactly like one of those gardens. So Sid, yeah, this is your
Um,
moment. It's like, holy shit, I'm at Buckingham Palace. How'd that happen?
So she's going to start like cranking
Yeah.
the flashlight
Uh-huh.
and then activating it and seeing if that does anything.
You see, you shine it over here, there's a hedge, you shine it over here, there's sort of a vague outline of something. It's hard to tell with the ash, but when you shine it up the hill, every once in a while you get a reflection. Like it's off a window, a big reflection. Like there's something with glass windows up at the top of this hill.
There's
can
Is it
see-
out of the range of the ash?
No, but it's
Or are we
just
kind of- is
you're,
it
you're
in the
still
way?
it's thinning slightly, but you can still only see that much. It's just even because what I'm thinking when you shine a flashlight into ash, it's just going to give you that cone, right?
yeah.
Full, but every once in a while it goes blink, blink.
Yeah.
It's bouncing off
So
windows.
In terms of
But
the
they're-
house, like it wasn't like directly in the line of the blast, but it is in the ash fall.
Yeah.
Like, would the house be sturdy enough to like support itself under the ash weight?
From what you can tell, at least its windows are still intact. As you
Okay.
get a little closer,
Um,
you see it start to loom out of the gloom. It's massive. Like you can't see the top of the portico even. It's got the pillared portico. You can't even see the top of the pillars. There's ash swirling around. It's ash is everywhere, but there are places where it's slid off the windows because it can't stick to the glass. And there's this. Everything is covered in ash. There's not a footprint anywhere except you can see construct. There's one that's clearly been a sweeper that has come out. And in fact, as you get closer, you see it come out onto the steps and go through a series of motions. It's like zzz, 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 and it sweeps off the deck, basically, and then zzz, 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 back inside.
Delilah's kind of like,
And again, a custom built. That's all it does is sweep.
yeah, like, I mean, one like shock after another. Like this is like her hero,
Yep.
and she's like, wait, my hero is not what I was told.
Yep.
And then she's like, damn it, lying again.
Yes. Yep.
I know,
Tell
Kev,
us,
because I know there's like the whole like constructs don't have like get rights and all that because like they're not supposed to. But
At
Koa's-
the time that this person was doing
the
this,
time,
they
yeah.
bloody did. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that was the dead.
Oh yeah,
Koa's-
this is
Koa's
this
gonna
is
wasn't a
bad.
resource.
Yeah,
and say, this was before everyone died, right? So that means these constructs are, well, this was
These
before
are
the dead
Maybe
were.
not
that
these
had
ones
rights.
specifically, but definitely the thing that created them.
No, these were, that lawn mowing one was programmed 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before the construct laws. These are corpses that were probably stolen.
Stolen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
the door opens in a cloud of ash, and a construct dressed in a tuxedo bows awkwardly in a burst of steam, stands back up, and gestures into a mansion that is ash-free.
You bet your Delilah is going straight in because she has questions.
Yeah.
Artemis looks
Sid-
down and is like, there's more ash than person here
Yeah.
right now.
Sid looks to Fatima and Stefano and Verite. It looks like we're going in.
Fatima looks at the girls and says, "Girls, please do shake before you go in." And she gives up. And maybe it's because
Like a
she's
dog.
kind of, but on her it looks really classy. Like it just starts to cascade from the top of her pith helmet and just kind of goes whoosh, because it's very fine clothing with very fine thread count and nothing gets stuck. Sort of. The girls try in various ways to do this, but this is like an adult woman move. Girls can't do it yet, but they try. And various amounts of ash
The
fall
move
off
you
of
learn
everybody.
as you go into
Yes.
adulthood.
Yeah, you have to have had kids and killed your husband before you get this move. So,
Skill
Rite of passage.
yeah. But
Meanwhile, Artemis in her clothes that has like layers of paint on it, it's like
and glitter and ash and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
she's like trying to shake it off, but everything's sticking. 'cause
absolutely.
The threads are like
as soon
rough
as the
and
door
stuff,
is
she's like-
open, there's a swoosh and the ash blows inside. Right?
Sid does a sort of hop and lands on his heels, and the entire thing just goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Artemis does
Delilah
that thing you
sticks
do when
her-
you get into a car in the winter and like kind of
her
like kicks
coat.
off the shoes.
Yeah,
So I think Delilah like realized she was covered in ash, takes off her lab coat that was covering everything, goes,
yeah,
"Oh,"
yeah.
takes it back in.
A lab coat shaped cloud of dust stays in the air.
Yeah.
Koa's just kind of walks in, kind of just does like a haphazard, like 1, 2,
Yeah.
and then
Like the dandruff dust, yeah, and that's good
yeah,
enough.
it doesn't,
Well, the
yeah, it
epaulets
doesn't
are fine,
clear
the rest
like,
of it's gray.
Yeah.
yeah,
Artemis
exactly.
will go, "Hey, Koas, turn around for a second.
Huh?
And she'll do this to his hair,
Yeah.
like just muss it up
Yeah.
and walk past him.
So
Clap, Coas Cloud.
the whole bunch of you, Verite, Stefano, everybody, and all of you just sort of make your way into this mansion. A whole bunch of ash comes in with you. And you see a kind of a closet opens up on a hinge, and a giant Roomba person comes out and starts vacuuming the floor. There's other ones come out that have got like a dustpan and a broom for hands. Some of these ones look really primitive. Like the dustpan one, that's all it does is it just moves and sweeps, moves and sweeps, moves and sweeps. But
There's some crispy ones.
ones like the butler appear to be very much
Slightly
more
crunchy.
advanced. Although his only function seems to be that you've seen so far is to just gesture. Because as they're cleaning around him, you're standing in this central hall. It's got the big double staircase that goes up to the second floor and all the doors around the outside. There's flowers, but they're like dead flowers on a table in a vase. There's bowls that, there's vases and things all over the place. It's a perfectly well-kept home, except there's no people in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it look lived in at all? Does it
No.
look like rich
There's
people lived
there's
in?
places here and there that were outside the programming of the cleaning, where you can see this much dust.
My God.
30 years of dust.
So, if no one was living here,
Who's
They were
maintaining
just
it?
why maintain
Is there
the
is there
constructs?
like an automatic refill system on like the steam sources?
You can start following that around in the house, and you go to. I think I'd start in the cupboard that just open and had the Roomba person came out of it. You go in there and look in there, and yeah, there's steam pipes and hoses going down to the basement.
I want to go to the basement.
Sid calls out just really loud. Hello.
Hello,
mean,
hello, hello, hello.
Now that I think about it, you could have constructs.
Alex.
Bollocks.
Couldn't you have constructs just their sole purpose is maintaining other constructs, and then you just have constructs maintaining those ones, and it's a cycle?
You say
Isn't
that
that
as
like a light
Delilah.
bulb that charges
Mm,
itself?
Theoretically, yeah.
The two of you are talking as Delilah says that and leaves the room. You open the door to downstairs, Delilah, and you look downstairs, and it's like the seventh circle of hell. It's all steam and fire and boilers and pressure gauges and pipes and hoses and a bunch of constructs built into it, running controls and turning steam handles
Oh God.
and providing the maintenance. It's a
I
self-sustaining
have to-
machine.
I have to do one thing. First of all, Sid, can I get a hand?
Sid, you step to the top of the stairs and look down, and that's
Yeah.
what you see.
He visibly relaxes. It's a sense of familiarity.
You know this, yeah. You know the
Yeah.
steam.
I
Right then. I guess
Right.
I've got some learning to do.
She braces herself and she heads downstairs. Her main concern is she wants to know when these built-in constructs were programmed.
Yep.
Sid's just analyzing, looking.
Yeah.
This is the work
The
of a
piping,
master.
and you're looking around, and yeah, it's the pressure control and the shifting and the way things are done. This is
Never thought to put a regulator there.
yeah, this is like Verite levels of
I was
of,
literally
of
about to ask
yeah
that.
Verite
Yeah.
/ Stefano levels of creative genius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can Artemis
This
look
is-
for on the main level like an office
Yep.
or
That
like
was my next thought.
Mhm. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're looking for an
I
office,
think
Coas.
I
What are
figure
you looking
split
for?
up, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Koa's seeing that there's no people anymore.
Yep, not one.
So he's gonna relax and just kind of stay he's not what is he gonna search for actually yeah, he would like to search, yeah, he would like to go to the office too.
Okay, so you're also going to go to the office.
Yeah.
Perfect.
doing two.
With that, Fatima, the girls, the kids, that they've taken all the injured out of the constructs outside and brought them all inside. And she has just taken over. All right, girls, upstairs. Everybody grab one. You're going to have to come down and get a second one or take two up on the first one. No one's going to judge you, but you're doing it either way. And you're carrying two. And they start hauling them up.
Stays outside.
The robot is still, the butler is still, he's gestured to the lounge and nobody's going. And he's just standing there gesturing to the lounge because he's a construct.
If constructs could sass.
Yeah. So
Maybe
he's essentially,
C3PO.
you've essentially broken him, right? He's stuck because you didn't follow your programming, so he can't
Stuck
follow
in the
his.
pathing.
So she takes the kids, just they start going up the double staircase upstairs, and she's assigning. You can hear her assigning rooms upstairs. Oh, these are lovely girls in here, and da 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 da. No, you and you can't stay together. You've been bickering all day. You go in there. You go in there. Just doing the thing, right?
Heart camp.
Scout
Costco.
leader.
Verite and
yeah.
Verite and
Come on.
Stefano have kind of plunked down on a really fancy old like Victorian age little love seat almost. They're side by side. Verite's still got the mask on just because he forgot. He doesn't need it anymore. It's just still built around his face. And Stefano has got one of the apples you guys picked, and he's cleaned it all off, and he's cutting it into little tiny strips and handing it to Verite, and Verite's poking it through the mask, eating little tiny strips.
Oh my
Like a hamster.
Yeah, the two of them seem to
Walking
be
slowly.
the two of them seem to be coping in their own sort of completely dissociated
Two
from
peas
reality
in a
kind of
pod.
way. Yeah. And then every once in a while, Stefano's having a bite out of the apple and then cuts off another couple slices and gives them to his buddy.
Aw.
Okay, they're
So,
entertained for now.
these basement constructs.
Yes. We're going to do a couple minutes here because it's almost 8 o'clock. But yeah, I want to
Yeah.
give you guys the view. They're built in. This is like H.R. Geiger levels of shit. Like it's bioorganic.
Servitors.
Yeah, it's bioorganic. They needed somebody to
the great
control
part of the ship.
things here, so they put one there and it controls these things, and they're physically built into the structure. Sid, the steam management is spectacular, but off the scale weird. Like it doesn't follow any of the rules and regulations. You don't know if it's safe, but it's bloody brilliant.
Yeah, he's trying to absorb as much as he can.
While
and
trying to ignore the fact that part of it's a construct. Yeah.
just, just ignore the fleshy bit. but
Yeah, yeah.
Move that flap of skin over. I want to see what that
yeah.
reading is.
Yep. So you guys are down there putting things together. We're going to give you an idea of how extensive this is. But what I'm going to give you is, for today, Sid, it's massive. It runs an entire estate. Every function you could think of that would have a servant do it, or in Florence, any function that would have a construct do it, there's a construct here doing it, but it's all part of this one massive network.
Yeah.
The question...
It's not to the same scale as the Florentian steamworks, but it's a lot more intricate.
But if they could do that here, why didn't they do that when they got to Florence? They could have had the entire city mechanized and not have any people involved in the process at all. Why not? That's your question. Delilah. This has been here in some form for 36 years. The oldest bit of steam programming in this started 6 years before the downfall. This entire basement was built before the fall. The entire system was in place before the fall.
Right in the middle of the dying.
I can leave you with that. This is something you're going to take time to process, so that's where
Yeah.
we're going to leave the two of you. It's
She's
huge.
like,
And your hero was saved the world, yeah, probably, or at least saved one city, definitely. But at what price?
Sadistic? Definitely.
Yeah, at what price?
As we're
These
kind
two,
of
yeah.
going through the office and kind of I'd be searching for reasons why she left the estate to go to the
Yep.
Citadel. I mean, it's kind of to me it's kind of obvious she wants to she would help rebuild Florence or whatever for own kind of power gain or something like that. But I'm still looking for confirmation.
Okay. Artemis, what are you looking for in there? Because I want
however-
to find out from both of you what you're looking for first. So, Okoas,
Artemis
go
is
ahead.
looking for her journals, her
Perfect. Okay.
research note, anything specific that might help Delilah and or Sid.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're looking for the kind of we're almost looking for the same thing, but as we're kind of searching, Coach is gonna say, crazy thought. If this was all what Delilah said and it's kind of before the fall happened, and well, not to be pessimistic or anything, but do you remember how the fall happened? What happened with the fall? Why people just randomly started dying and all that?
No one knows.
Yeah. It's hypothetical cynicism here. I mean, you build a system that uses the dead. At the point in time that you have this system and you figure this stuff out, oh, it's not good, right? No one's accepting this. All of a sudden, mass amounts of people start dying, and your system is now, hey, we need to use this now. The dead are resources. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of coincidental if you ask me, but you know me, I've been big into the conspiracy stuff. So
Yes.
It's cynicism. Yeah, I know.
At the
Cynicism.
very least, it's a strange coincidence.
Yeah.
that When you perfect the system.
That's when like it goes best for you, and you begin to get the seat of the power, the citadel, because you have this system. You're the one that did this system and rebuilt the city of Florence. Interesting. That's all.
You find in the journal, in their notes, things like need more corpses, shortage of corpses, I figured it out, exclamation mark, a chemical formula, and then no mention of need for more corpses.
Oh no.
Coas. You were looking for specifically what?
Specifically, like a reason why she would go into the city if she has this perfect estate here.
You're going through the again, probably her business notes rather than her personal notes, right?
Yeah.
About 3 months before the fall started, she starts booking appointments in the city in 3 months.
Holy shit. Hey, Artie. I'm starting to think that maybe my conspiracy theory is treading some water here.
Yeah.
And if I may,
You can see he's
you actually
as
happy,
morbid
yeah.
as morbid as this
Yeah,
discovery is. He's happy
yeah.
that he put together some sort of puzzle.
And the way I see this is that the Artemis, you drop your book, the journal, and it just kind of goes poof on the table, and the camera's panning down at what we just talked about. And then Coas drops his book, and it lands sort of across it, and you see his notes, and it becomes absolutely, obviously clear. She did this, whether by accident or on purpose. She started the fall. I would leave that up to you two to tell Delilah next week. Delilah's already pretty broken.
Love it.
Okay. I'm looking around at
Therapy
4
session.
players, yes, that need to hear something. Listen, all 4 of you, please open your ears big and wide for this. By the end of the next session, a good thing is going to happen.
I promise.
Okay,
I
A
swear.
good thing for you or a good thing
No,
for
a
our
good thing
character?
for you. I know a party that's been pushed to its limits. I know I've been here before. A good thing will happen next week, I promise. And that's not metagaming. That's self-help for my friends, my players.
Oh, all right, Kev, I mean, you could push me even further if you wanted to. Just me. You can single me
Well,
out.
okay. Well, while we're spreading the blame, I wasn't going to have them cause the fall until you brought it up.
I'm sorry.
I had thought of it, and I'd thought of making it kind of a maybe, but when you said it, it's like, yeah, this has to be.
It definitely sounds like between what's in the book and what we just learned.
Yes. Yeah.
If she didn't specifically cause it, she was one of the dominoes,
Or
Yeah.
it got away on her or something. Yeah.
like a zombie player.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
needed to have enough people for it to actually be, like, not kill off the whole world and also be profitable
So
or whatever.
maybe, what level of was intended? Was did she just need
Yeah,
10?
'cause also
Did she need
birth
100?
rates
Did she
went
need 1,000? Yes.
So, like, it's not just people died, birth rates went down. So either
Mhm.
something went wrong or she was just a
Or
piece
it
or
was
she,
more
like,
powerful
helped
than it was
someone
supposed to be.
else.
Yeah.
there
And
were
I've
other
got
people involved.
And I've got a week to figure that out because I didn't know
Yeah.
this until just now. I didn't know there was a mansion in that field until you guys stepped out of the forest. So, woohoo!
Fair
Improv
enough.
gaming. Do it.
Let's
Do
go.
it. Make a story. Tell a story
Hey,
with your
Can't
friends.
metagame if I don't know what I'm doing.
That's right. You can't steal
Hey.
things that I don't know yet.
Kev,
but-
I didn't make this up. I got it all from your clues. So.
We made it up. It's amazing. This is
Yeah.
what storytelling gaming can be. We played some cards tonight. We did some mechanics. We did some things. There was a game involved. I'm sure. I promise. I think. Anyway, whether there was or wasn't, it was an amazing story again tonight. People are watching this because of the depth of the story. People are watching this because they need tissues. That's what this one is. I didn't know it was going to be this, and I promise you good news by the end of next week, but this has been a heartbreaker. So
What does this do to your like planned story?
we haven't touched the plan story. You guys literally never got to step 2. Of the Verite
We
was
didn't
a
even go to
3-part
the
thing.
scrap twice.
Yeah, there was
We
supposed to be
weren't
3
given
trips.
Much of a chance, to be fair.
Nope.
Yeah, we
but
weren't, yeah.
There was 3 trips to the scrap for 3 different
Things and
things that
stuff.
would give you all kinds of cool stuff. You had to get to the port and find the chemical, and there was a whole thing that he was going to do after he knew that, because he was going to be able to make batteries for you. So yeah, all of that's
To be
gone.
fair, we were on the way to do that.
Oh yes, you were, and I knocked it
Yeah.
all out from under you. Yep.
So Kevin did this to himself.
Oh yes, and to you, and to
And
Florence.
tried to blame us.
And it was joyous. So, time for the thank yous. Whew, now that I'm decompressing over here. Thank you so much, Wayward Knight, Bison _ Stonefist, Thunderscape 7, and Phil. Thank you all. I got to do it in that order now. Thank all 4 of you for going with me on this. This is open your soul role playing, and I appreciate that. Being willing to feel the pain of your characters going through these horrible things and trying to process what it would be like, and watching you act is primo fun. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. Thank you to the folks in chat. There wasn't a whole bunch tonight, but oh boy, do I think you got you. And good old K Grounds. Thank you. So thank you so much for popping in and watching. Anybody who's watching on YouTube, thank you, because there is still a bunch of you that are watching on YouTube. So please keep doing so. Please keep hitting the like button. Please keep hitting the subscribe button if we so impressed you, and hit the notification bell so you know when we're putting stuff up there. Other than that, the only thing remaining to do is the important bit. We're here 7 nights a week. No, the really important bit. Until next time, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye. Lamps.